Hello, you are listening to Everyday Superpower, where we talk body language, non-verbal communication, game, relationships, everything in between. Today, we're going to talk about literally raising your height and its effects in communications with others, how you can be perceived as somebody else, and so on and so forth. And this can happen, long term, as far as you putting on a pair of shoes that raise your height and you walk through the day with them, or whether you are just having a conversation with somebody and you feel like you should be standing upright and proud as opposed to slouched over, and the vice versa. Okay, so we did a little talk on lowering one's body not so long back, probably within the last 1 to 2 videos if you want to refer back into the catalogue of videos on this YouTube channel. But today we're talking about taking a higher position relative to another, alright? It is a showcase of dominance. Status and dominance are related to the relative height of the person. So when people are leaders, such as the presidents, such as CEOs of companies, such as particular bloodlines that may have, a certain amount of power in the world, you will see that they are taller than your average person, for the most part at least. So you can artificially raise your height with special footwear. I don't go out of my way to do so, but I do like wearing trainers, and my trainer of sort do have quite a heel on them. I like Nike shoes, Nike trainers, and a lot of them do so. Now, I think it's definitely a good selling point in regards to people being unaware of these particular elements of non-verbal communication. So when they're walking around, the people treat them with a little more respect and so on and so forth, purely as they are deemed to be a little more dominant in stature, purely as, the inch or two that the heel of the shoe provides gives them that position over if they were wearing, like Adidas tennis shoes or something and so forth. So height can be artificially raised. Of course, with women, you can wear high heels and shoes alike. So, parallel to that, we can look at when we're communicating with somebody, we can look at our terrain. So, this happens a lot with people in power. Over here, at the moment, we have a Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, okay? He's short of stature. If anything, if you give me one moment, I'm going to tell you his height, because I'm pretty interested, to be honest. And you probably get BS information, doctored information, but he's 5'6", all right. The shortest male prime minister since Churchill, who was of the same height, all right. Didn't do Churchill much harm, all right. Nobody knows how short Churchill was, so I guess actions speak loudest. But you'll see in photos, Rishi Sunak stands a step above everybody else in particular photos. You know what I mean? He will artificially lower the height of those around him in order for him to be perceived as more dominant and powerful, because otherwise people will look at him and perceive him as, let's be real about it, maybe a little weaker, maybe a little more submissive, purely as we perceive power to be up, such as the dominance in our hierarchy. When we look upwards, when we look to a ceiling, when we look to the heavens above, it's all significant of dominance and power, as opposed to looking downwards. When we look down on someone, it's seemed as a bit of a it's a put down, and there we go again, a put down, whereas when we hold someone in high esteems and high regards and think highly of somebody, do you see this correlation between height in the language, in the linguistic sense, and where it applies? All of these connections come together to really make this non-verbal communication make sense, right? So let's continue onwards. When you are to raise your body, you can showcase that you are in command of a situation. So when somebody's ready, they won't slouch and be slow and, be stuck to the ground. If you have a leadership role, you have to, right, let's get the job done. Breathe in, chest out, head high, shoulders back. Okay? Powerful, let's go. We're dominant. We're exposing ourselves to the world, and as we've spoken in regards to territory, non-verbally, we will show how, unconsciously, we will show how much we believe we're worth by how much space we take up, whether that be through our physical body or through the objects and items we leave around, if not by the size of our car, our house, and so on and so forth, right? So, territorially speaking, those whom have been given or believe they are of the leadership role will take up that space, stand higher and more dominant. Okay? As I said in the last video, if you got stopped by police and so forth, you would want to allow them to take that position as opposed to you, because you don't want to potentially threaten those who feel they rightfully should be in that stature, alright? So, don't get me wrong, at the end of the day, it is an illusion of dominance, as we can play submissive roles to a T. When it comes to our communications, we can get everything we want by being submissive in nature, because we don't threaten anyone, we don't stand on anyone's toes in doing so, so we can get through life a lot easier in doing that. But that's a little talk in regards to raising one's body in relation to others, to have an erect body posture, to utilise, footwear and so on and so forth. Some people in the gym do, I don't know the real name of it, but they do hangs. So they will just hang off of one of the bars, releasing the tension in the spine, allowing it to hang naturally. I don't know as to whether it really works. Decompresses the spine, maybe gives them a little more height momentarily at the very least. I don't know much about that, but people do it. And that's its significance in regards to this grand, matter, which we don't talk about. I mean, at the most, you'll see people in relationship communications talking about how women are so bothered about height and so forth and this and that. And there you go, that was a little talk on that. I'm signing out.